name's Carol Fossey. I've been in business as of the 1st of May this year, it will be 20 years. So I still remember those early days and how exciting and scary it is when you're starting up and you think, oh my God, you don't even know the right questions to ask, never mind the answers half the time. So I ran recruitment businesses for 15 years. I hired the first ever social media apprentice in Manchester in 2012 and then trained him myself because there was no course for him to go on. But I've been interested in social media since the beginning. I am a bright, shiny object, whatever's new type person. And then in 2015, when I sold my other business, I started Strategy Social Media. And it's been a ride ever since. So let me share with you some of the things that I've learned that might save you a bit of time. I'm going to share my screen. And let's start the show. So the first thing is you really need to understand what social media is all about. And the clue really is in the name. It's, stage the end, by the way, for a simple way of saving 10 hours a month and still being effective. But the purpose of social media is to be social. It's not called selling media, is it? It's called social media. So we're going to look at 5 tips. We're going to look at EIEIO. We're going to look at Facebook clickable headers, Facebook groups, hashtags, and LinkedIn making an impact. And because it's so important, we're gonna just start with EIEIO. It stands for education, information, entertainment, inspiration, and offer. So let's go through that. Education. Why do people go to social media? Because they want to find out something. They want to know how to cut their hair in lockdown, how to cut their kids' hair in lockdown, how to groom their dog in lockdown, how to make a chicken tikka masala, I don't know. Whatever it is, they're looking for finding out how to do something that they didn't know how to do before. So education, make your posts.
Social media is for education as much as anything else, even to learn how to make a chicken tikka masala.
Other people don't think it's easy. And, this is something I've had to really
Tikka
understand
masala.
over my journey in social media, is I think things are really easy to do, and then other people don't think they're so easy. So really make sure that you're educating people and giving them value. The second thing is information. So information is like what's new, what's news, what's going on in the neighbourhood, what's going on in the local Facebook group, what's going on in the world, what's going on with COVID, what's the weather going to be like? Will it stay in Manchester? No, never does. Information. People love to be the first to break the news about something, don't they? They love to be nosy and they love to be the first to break the news. So give them something to talk about to do with your business, something that's new, something they may not know, what's going on behind the scenes. People love that kind of stuff. The third one is entertainment. So here's your cat videos. I don't know if you've seen today the trial in America where one of the lawyers didn't realise his kid had been on his computer before and put a kitten face filter on the laptop. And the lawyer's in court going, I am here and I'm not a cat. It was priceless. Anyway, entertainment. Doesn't have to be a cat video, okay? It could be anything that is entertaining, that take people away from their problems for a few minutes. And maybe they learn something at the same time. If you can combine any of these, then it's brilliant. But entertainment can be a video, it could be a story, it could be your story, it could be a funny thing that happened to you. It could be anything that just makes people smile. Inspiration, a bit like entertainment, but that's more quick and snappy stuff. So this is quotes. People love quotes on social media. I don't know why, they just do. They love quotes, they love polls, they love, anything that just takes them away, like I say, from what they're doing for a minute. Now, it has to be quick, because remember, a lot of people are on social media when they shouldn't be, or when they haven't really got time to be, and they need to be doing something else. So you can't be going on for hours and hours about stuff. It needs to be short and snappy. They might be on the loo, might be in the bath, they might be on a bus, going to work, they might be walking around getting a sandwich at lunchtime if they're brave enough to go outside at the moment. So something that's going to inspire them. Again, it could be a case story of yours. It could be your own personal story. It could be a quote. It could be something else that's inspirational that's going on in the world that you've got a take on. You've got your own take on. EI. O is the occasional offer. And when I say offer, I don't mean selling. I mean offer. You know, it means letting people know what's going on in your world. So I had an inquiry yesterday from a potential client who said, I want to post 3 times a day, and I don't mind if one isn't about us, but the other 2 need to be like, you know, selling our stuff. No, that's soon going to bore people and piss them off. You know, you have to think, excuse my language, you have to think about, what do you do when you go on social media? Are you there? Are you really inspired, educated, entertained by people who just go, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff? No, you really aren't. So you need to find a different way of doing it. But it's okay once you've got a following to let them know what's going on, that they can be a part of. That's what I mean by offer. And as per Pareto's law, please do it in the same sort of proportion. So 80-20, yeah? Okay. So let's look at the first tip. What's a Facebook page for? Now, people may not realise how little reach a Facebook page gets nowadays since the change of algorithm a couple of years ago. So on average, 1 to 2% of your page followers will see the stuff you put out. And the average engagement for a post on a page is 0.09%. So it's clearly not for communicating regularly with the vast majority of your followers. So what is it for? Well, first of all, you need it for advertising, you need it for credibility, and
organic
you need to
reach.
remember it's the top of your funnel. So when people come across you on Facebook, they have no idea who you are. They don't care about you. They only care about what's in it for them. Yeah. So when you get them to your page, you need to quickly engage them and get them to do something which brings them into your world. Okay. They will expect to see you there if that's their social media of choice, Facebook. They will expect to see you posting the sort of stuff that they would expect you to post. And remember, a lot of people will go and check you out on social media, having seen you somewhere else. So maybe you'll go and check me out on LinkedIn or on Facebook after this presentation because you want to know more about me. But what they are looking for is, are you there? Are you posting regularly? Do you look credible? You have to have a page, let's say, if you want to advertise at any point in time, so you might as well get one, but it is the top of your funnel. So what can you do? We talked about Facebook engagement. What can you do? What you can do is be niche. That's one thing that you can do, because the more niche you are, the more engagement. But let's talk about, before we talk about clickable headers actually, here's a reason, for no other reason, you need a Facebook page. If you don't have one, and LinkedIn do this as well now, Facebook will create one for you. Did you know that? Facebook will create a page for you. So these 3 pages here, Peter Heard of Wilmslow, Peter Heard of Wilmslow, Peter Heard of Wilmslow, only one of those is a real page. The other 2 are fake pages that Facebook create, because Facebook don't want you to not find what you're looking for. They don't want you to go off to somewhere else and find what you're looking for on Google. So they will go to Google, they'll bring it back for you from Google, they'll bring the map back, they'll bring any reviews back, and they will create your fake page. So there's a reason why you should have one, if no other reason. I'm just going to zip through that, okay? But let's talk about clickable headers. So I've got many pages on Facebook. This is one of them, Passport to Success. See the header here. It is not about me. It's not about my company. It doesn't say the word me, I, or we once in the header. It has got the logo on, because I quite like the logo, but it's talking to you, because this page particularly is for startups. Are you looking to grow your business? Then join our Facebook group. What's in it for you? So why should you join the Facebook group? You can get our monthly challenges. You can access free resources. You can join weekly lives on Friday at 12 and a clickable link. Now, most people don't know that you can't actually click a link on a header, so they'll click it because it looks like a clickable link, right? So what happens when you click it? The picture gets bigger. And then on the right hand side here, let me just, I've just gone one too far, let me go back, zooms in the way. On the right hand side, you've got a link to actually join the group. Now I get people every day joining the group through this link on my Facebook page. because they're not going to engage with the Facebook page much. Not much is going to happen on the Facebook page apart from regular posting so they know we're alive. So this is where the magic happens in the group. So create yourself a clickable header. If you don't know how to do that, I'm going to give you a link at the end where you can book a call with me and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, let's talk about hashtags. So why should you use hashtags in your social media? Well, for a number of reasons. They make posts searchable. When you click on a hashtag, you can go and see all the stuff that's trending under that hashtag. You can create a campaign, a series or an event and link your content through a hashtag. It's interactive. How many can you have? Well, technically it's unlimited on Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn and 30 on Instagram. But how many should you have? Okay, here's what we've found through massive testing. Twitter, one hashtag. 2 or 3 on Facebook. I hate it when I see a post with 30 hashtags in because somebody's just lazily reposted their post from Instagram onto Facebook. It's so lazy, plus people don't like it, your reach will drop. LinkedIn, 5. 5 seems to be the optimum amount. Test it though, because everybody's accounts are different. And Instagram, 11 to 14. So whilst you can have 30, you don't have to use all 30. You can use all 30. But what we found is when we use 11 to 14, that's when we get the most engagement. And watch out, because Insta's getting a bit clever now. If you use the same 30, 14, 11, however many hashtags on Insta every single time, Insta doesn't like it and your reach will drop. So make sure you've got 5 or 6 that are core hashtags that you always use for your business, and then 6, 8 that are individual hashtags which are for the particular post, so they're relevant to the post that you're talking about. Newsjacking, have a look what's trending on hashtags, and if it's relevant for you, use it. You know, we, like, for example, hashtag National Hashtag Day, we jump on the back of that because it's relevant for our business. Humour, be careful with humour. Humour doesn't always transpose on the internet. You need to really, really understand your audience. If you do, you can use humour. So one hashtag that I sometimes use that's humorous is 30 several, because that's my answer when anybody asks how old I am, 30 several. So if you know your audience, you can use humour. Tools we use for identifying the best hashtags, a couple of them which are easy to use and free, hashtagify.me and besthashtag.com. Go there, put your word in, it will tell you what the best trending hashtags are for that word. Capitalise, hashtag like this, first letter capitalisation of each letter, because otherwise it's difficult to read, and you are doing it for the human as well for the algorithm, so make sure you're making things easy for people. Make sure you've got a public profile on LinkedIn, because otherwise when you search on hashtags or somebody searches on hashtags, you will only find the people in your network. But if you're a public profile, you'll find everything on that hashtag. Now, niche hashtags, particularly for startups, don't use all the big hashtags. There are big, medium and small hashtags. Big might be social media, medium might be Facebook page, small might be Facebook page in Manchester. Use some of the smaller hashtags, because what happens is when you use a big hashtag, you'll be there for like a split second and nobody will see it, you know, especially if you've got very few followers. So if you use the medium or the small hashtags, you've got more likelihood of being found on that hashtag. So use some smaller ones. Location's great to use for a hashtag. Use your location. Hashtag Manchester for me. Might not be for you. It gives you ideas when you're searching for hashtags of what you could create, and make sure they're understandable, because do you know what? LMAO, sorry, my mother wouldn't know what that meant. Hashtag LOL. LOL, if you're my age, used to mean lots of love on the end of an envelope, you know, on the end of a letter, not lots of laughs or laughs out loud. So just make sure they're understandable for your own market. So let's look at groups. So when I take people from that Facebook header into the group, and that's not the only way I take people into the group, but when they want to join the group, here's the magic 3 questions. Okay, you need to ask a variation of these 3 questions. The first one is, Are you an established or startup business? That's for me to know, so that I know whether somebody is needing startup information or a more established business might need a different bunch of information. Question 2, what information or support would make this group perfect for you? The question I get asked all the time is, what content do I create? How do I know what content to create? Well, ask your public, ask your tribe, they'll tell you. You don't have to imagine it, ask them what they want and then create it for them. Can you imagine how powerful that is? Somebody asks, oh, how do you find the best hashtag for blah, blah, blah? And I do a little video and I stick it in the group and I tag that person in and say, John asked this question this week, here's the answer. How good is that? Question 3, and here's the big money question. What is the best email or phone number for you so we can get information to you about using marketing and social media to grow your profitable business? They've just joined a group called Grow Your Business with Marketing and Social Media. Why would they not want more information about growing their business with marketing and social media? If they answer no to that question, or they don't answer that question, they probably want to spam your group with all their buy my shit stuff. All right, you don't want that. You want people in the group who are going to be active, who are genuinely there because they want help and you can help them. Yeah. So the thing to remember with these questions is you have to manually record them, because once you've read them and you press accept into group, that information is gone forever. So create yourself a spreadsheet, have this information manually recorded, and then you're building your list. Because much as I love social media, and I do, because I run a social media company, you know, the best list is the one that you own, not the one that Facebook owns. Does that make sense? So there's groups. How are we doing for time? Let me have a quick look. Oh, right, got tons of time. Brilliant. Let's have a look at LinkedIn. There's 7 steps to a perfect profile. Unfortunately, I haven't got time to go through them all in the next 15 minutes, but let's have a quick look what they are. Picture and banner. First impressions count. Make sure the picture and banner are good, and we're going to look at that a little bit more in a minute. Summary, or about us, or about you. It's not about you, it's about them. And I'm going to show you some really good and some really bad examples of that in a minute. Because again, if they don't know you, they don't care what you're called, how long you've been in business, who you are, that you know, you've got 3 kids, they don't care. They care about them. So the about us is about them. All right, just remember that if you remember nothing else from this presentation. Working with the algorithm. Now, all the algorithms love this, but LinkedIn particularly love it. If you can't think what to create on a day, don't worry. Go and find a post that's got lots of likes, lots of comments on it, that will be of interest to your audience, and share it. Put in your comment on, put in your take on it, not just sharing it, but putting your actual take on it. Mind you, if you just share it, LinkedIn's still like that, but ideally put your own little comment on why you're sharing that piece of content. And if you did that every day and didn't post your own stuff, it wouldn't really matter. There's a guy who follows me who I first noticed because every day he was sharing an inspirational quote. Every day, every single day. Didn't seem to do anything on his own but shared this inspirational quote. He's now got, 300,000 followers, and that's all he does. So sharing is caring for LinkedIn. Hashtags, we went through that before. Publisher. If you don't know this, then understand LinkedIn has its own blogging platform and it's called Publisher. So when you go to create a post, you can create a post or you can write an article. If you click write an article, that's where you put your blog. You can put your header, you can put pictures in it, you can put bullet points, you can put subheadings, just like you could on your own WordPress blog. A little bit less functionality, but the same principle. Now, if you have a post that says a little bit about your blog and then a link taking you to the blog on LinkedIn, that's going to work better for the algorithm than taking you straight to your blog on your website. But Carol, I hear you say, I want people to go to my website. That's fine. This is the strategy. You put a post up, you put a link to your blog. In the blog, you put a link to your website. They don't seem to mind that on LinkedIn. That seems to be fine. So do it that way. Post, take the post to the publisher post, and then in that post have a link taken into the blog. Okay, I know we're rushing through this, but I really want to give you as much value as I possibly can. So don't worry, there's an opportunity to recap on this later with me if you need to. 6, endorsements and testimonials. Make sure that you are asking people for testimonials. Now, for many years, I was absolutely rubbish at this. Really, really rubbish. You know, I was one of the first 10,000 people on LinkedIn back in when it started, 2000. I was one of the first 10,000 people, which I didn't know till 10 years later when I got an email saying, thanks for being one of the first 10,000 people on our 10-year anniversary. But I didn't get any testimonials. I was rubbish. I was rubbish at asking. The best time to ask for a testimonial is when somebody says, thanks, you did a great job for me. Immediately you hear that, just say, are you on LinkedIn? And would you mind leaving me a testimonial? I'm trying to build them up at the moment. And they'll do it. So get some testimonials because they're very powerful. On LinkedIn, you can't make them up. It's the person itself that has to do that. So it's really important. Go and get them done. One of my friends he's the most testimonialed sales trainer on LinkedIn. That's what he sells himself as, and he honestly can't cope with all the work that he gets coming in. And then get it out there. Once you've got your LinkedIn profile looking good, get it out there. Get it on your email signature, get it on your other social medias, get it on your website, get it on your business card, get it everywhere. Okay. It's your professional business card online, basically. So let's have a look at the picture and the banner. Headshot. Make sure it is your head and the top bit of your shoulder, because if it's any more than that, if you're further away from the camera than that, people aren't going to be able to see you. And if you're near it just looks creepy. So
Wednesday, Thursday and Friday.
Banner, that's the thing that goes above. Again, you don't really need your company name or your logo or anything else in there. You need one of two things. Either the same sort of banner as Facebook, so something that takes, that really talks to your audience and tells them to do something, or maybe some credibility stuff. So if you're in a particular industry where awards are important and you've won that award, you might have a picture of you winning that award, or you might have you with a celebrity, or you might have something else. Mine's got me and Ian Wright on some stuff that we did together. So, make sure though that you don't waste that opportunity for that banner. I don't think we've got time to go through the 7 Ps on the about, which is, as we said before, remember, not about you. But briefly, make sure it comes across that you're passionate. Don't use the word passionate. Don't use these overused words. I am driven, passionate, blah, 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 blah. Anybody can say that. Show it through what you're saying. What problems do you solve now for people? Yeah, make it current. What can you help them with right now? The past is up to you on LinkedIn. So how much of your past you highlight on your profile, that's up to you. Highlight the stuff that's important, which is the next point, prominent. Make prominent the stuff that is most important to your audience, not to you, to your audience. Make sure that you come across as a person though, talk in a normal voice. Don't use big fancy words written down if you wouldn't use big fancy words speaking out loud. I used to get told off for that at school. Teacher used to say to me, Carol, you're right, like you speak. In my head I'm thinking, what's wrong with that? And actually that's what works nowadays on media in general. Personal, you can have a bit of personal stuff in there because you might resonate, whilst they might not resonate with you as a social media business owner, they might resonate with you as somebody who's passionate about women in business, which I also am, or somebody who likes Cocker Spaniels. I don't think that's on my profile, but it could be. So have a little bit of personal stuff after the stuff that's about them, yeah? And then presentations. On your profile generally you can put presentations, you can put slideshows, you can put PowerPoints, you can put videos. Put some stuff up that showcases what you can do for people. Okay, definitely don't have time to go through all the do's and don'ts in great detail, but count is first impressions count. Let's see what else. Cadence is about speaking in your own voice. Canvas is about telling people what you want them to do next in your About Us. Do you want them to link with you on LinkedIn? Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to download something that's free? Do you want them to make an appointment to speak to you? Make sure it's clear, because if you don't have a call to action, then you can't complain when nobody takes any action, can you? So let's have a look at a few examples. Now, Jacqueline, she's a third level of connection of mine. She's an owner and designer from Rain to Rainbows in the greater Chicago area. Now, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? From Rain to Rainbows. Be good if I actually knew what it was though, because I have no idea what that is. I could guess, but it would be a guess. Picture of her is okay. She could probably do with having, a little bit more on her face and a little bit less on the top half of her body, but it's not too bad. But look at the banner, there's nothing there. What a wasted opportunity. And then you go down to the about and it says, I graduated from la la la, my degree, blah blah blah. Since then I have been la la la. Me, I, we. Who cares? I don't care. I want to know what you can do for me. So let's have a look at another one. Sam, now banner, I'm not loving it. I don't know what it means. I don't know what supreme minority is. It doesn't seem to, and she's in a bathing costume. That doesn't attract me, it might attract some people. It's quite a dark picture though, and quite a lot going on. Ditch the diet over on the left. That should be the big thing from my perspective. The picture is all right. Again, it should be head and shoulders so we can see her beautiful face a bit more. But the little blurb is good. I help body conscious, time pressured women ditch unhealthy food and body relationships to achieve freedom from their dieting with my 12-week one-to-one coaching program. Great, I know exactly who that's for. It might be me, it might not be me. I know exactly who it's for. James Caan, you see, even the big guys can get it wrong. Now, he probably thinks that every single person knows who he is, so he doesn't need to play by the rules. That may be true, but it probably isn't. The picture, he's not looking at the camera, there's too much of his body in it. It's a good quality picture in terms of pixels, but anything else, no. The header, that's him talking to young people. He works with young people a lot, which is fine, except that when you go to the about, it says for speaking opportunities, visit jamescaan.com. Clearly, the thing that he wants the most, because it's there at the beginning of his about, is speaking opportunities. So why is that not reflected in the header? Who knows? Liz, now, brilliant. This is the best one so far. Again, missed opportunity with the header, but I'm passionate about your pets and pet care, helping busy business owners feel less guilty about leaving their pets at home while they are working through dog walking and pet sitting your animals. Brilliant. If she was in Manchester and I had to go out to work, I would definitely contact her because I would definitely feel guilty about leaving my dog alone. And she's sat down here at the moment and whinging, so you might see her in a minute. She might.
Hey Kate, how are you?
It's a nice one. She's smiling at the camera. It could be close to her
Oh,
face.
I'm so excited. It's been ages since I've seen you.
Tony Robbins. Even the big boys.
I'm excited about your talk.
Great headshot. That's perfect. That's really good. Love the
I'll see you in
Double
5.
Impact 1 billion meals challenge. She's trying to feed 1 billion people, which is brilliant. But learn, look at the about. For over 30 years, my passion has been blah, 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 blah.
No, the live link is for Facebook. Let me send you directly what the link is to get in. Okay, see you in a bit. Bye.
Julie Hutchison. This is quite a good one. This is one of my clients actually, but she did do her own header before we started working with her. Quiet leader. So she's after people who consider themselves to be a quiet leader, who need to grow in confidence and impact, who need to build influence and results. Her little header's got little, emojis in it, little ticks. That's great. Leadership and impact coach for the quiet leader, advancing performance, influence, results, and opportunities. So that's what she does for you. She doesn't say I or me or anything else. The only thing at the end she says smiley person, which she is, and that's perfect. So that's the difference between having a good and a not very good LinkedIn profile. Now, where are we? Oh, 4 minutes. Okay, I promised to save you hours a week on your social media. So would you like a simple way of saving at least 10 hours a month on social and still being effective? We have a product that will help you. It's called Socially Sorted. It's a bit like Hootsuite, but much better and much cheaper. And you get a free Facebook group and training from me once a week to help you maximize on that. If you want to find out more about it or about any of this presentation that I've done so far, if you, this is everything about it. Sorry, it's got a content library, it's linked to Canva and Pexels, it's got unlimited hashtag groups. You can repurpose one post to any social media with one click. You can schedule and recycle, you can auto-import your blog posts. It gives you recommendations, it checks your calendar, it makes your breakfast. No, that one's a lie, it doesn't make breakfast. All your mentions and messages are in one place and you can reply from there too. So with Hootsuite, for example, you have to have 10 different streams if you've got 10 different social medias. And your analytics tells you not only when to post, but exactly what to post. So it's a really good thing. But anyway, connect with me on any of the social media because I'm everywhere. There's not many Carol Fosses. There's one in America. So just go find me. I'll be there somewhere, and that's it.
Really, really lovely.
I don't know where I am. I don't know if I'm stop sharing.
Really lovely. Loved it. But I am a geek like you. We're two little geeks.
We are geeks. We're geeks together. I've put a link into the chat, which is book your 15-minute discovery call with me if you want to ask anything about social media or need any help whatsoever.
Really fascinating. Really, really fascinating. Really enjoyed it. I mean, there's so many. It feels like there's that we could have a webinar just on that for a whole day. It feels like you could be writing a volume of books about it. You know, there's so much to cover. And
it's funny you should say that, Nick. We're going to write a book together soon in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
The only problem with books is, of course, social media changes daily. So you can't go too much into the tactical stuff in a book. It has to be more about the strategy, really. But yeah, we're doing it. Me and Gary are writing the book.
Okay. When's that coming out?
Oh, good question. By Easter.
By Easter. I'm so excited to have all these amazing people, and they're my friends as well as some of them are my friends, some of them I don't know, but wow.